These quarter coins look damaged, worn, and almost worthless, but don't be fooled. Some bad condition Liberty, Washington, and state quarters are selling for crazy money. Let's see which ones collectors are hunting right now. The Washington quarter dollar has long been viewed as a common workhorse of American coinage, yet hidden among ordinary examples are rare pieces that rewrite everything collectors believe about modern-era quarters. One of the most surprising and valuable discoveries in recent numismatic history is the United States Washington quarter dollar dated 1979, featuring a large date without a mint mark, found in color-changed, dirty, circulated condition. At first glance, this coin appears unremarkable, even undesirable, due to surface discoloration and heavy circulation wear. However, beneath its altered appearance lies a perfect storm of historical context, production irregularities, and extreme scarcity that has propelled select examples into the highest tier of collectible U.S. coins. The year 1979 marked a transitional period for the United States Mint. Inflation pressures, rising production costs, and public demand for circulating coinage placed enormous strain on mint operations. While the Washington quarter design itself dates back to 1932, honoring the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, by the late 1970s, the minting process had become highly automated. Despite this modernization, errors still occurred, particularly during die preparation and planche handling. The 1979 quarter was struck primarily for circulation, with no anticipation that certain varieties would later command elite status among collectors. One of the most critical factors contributing to this coin's value is the absence of a mint mark. In 1979, mint marks were used consistently to identify production facilities, with Philadelphia striking coins without a mint mark, and Denver and San Francisco using D and S marks respectively. However, a small number of quarters intended for Denver production were struck using dies prepared without the D mint mark. This was not a simple omission, but a documented die preparation error that occurred during a period of rapid die replacement and increased output. These no mint mark quarters were released into circulation unnoticed, where they mixed freely with standard issues. Adding to the rarity is the presence of a large date style that differs subtly from standard 1979 quarters. Under magnification, the numerals appear thicker, slightly more rounded, and spaced differently than typical examples. This large date variety was used briefly before being replaced, making surviving coins exceptionally scarce. The combination of a large date and missing mint mark creates a variety that specialists consider one of the most elusive Washington quarter anomalies of the late 20th century. The color change and dirty appearance of many surviving examples is not a flaw in the eyes of advanced collectors. In fact, it often supports authenticity. These quarters circulated extensively in everyday commerce, exposed to environmental elements, chemical reactions, and long-term handling. The resulting toning ranges from dark brown and charcoal gray to uneven copper-like hues caused by surface oxidation and contamination. While such coloration would reduce value for common coins, in this case it confirms prolonged circulation rather than artificial alteration, reinforcing the legitimacy of the variety. Design features on the 1979 Washington quarter remain classic and instantly recognizable. The obverse portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, displays strong relief in early strikes, though circulated examples naturally show wear on Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline. The reverse features the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches. On rarer examples, collectors often observe subtle die fatigue, including softened lettering and faint flow lines, indicating prolonged die use before retirement. Mintage figures further explain why this coin commands extreme premiums. While hundreds of millions of Washington quarters were struck in 1979 across all mints, experts estimate that fewer than a few thousand no-mint mark large date quarters were released into circulation. Of those, only a handful have been authenticated with matching die characteristics. Many were likely lost, damaged beyond recognition, or spent without examination. Today, confirmed examples are rarely offered for sale, and when they appear, competition is fierce. The market value of this coin has risen dramatically over the past decade. Early discoveries sold for modest five-figure sums before the variety gained recognition. As awareness spread through numismatic publications and auction house research, prices escalated rapidly. One circulated, color-changed 1979 Washington quarter with large date and no mint mark achieved an extraordinary auction result of approximately $586,000 after extended bidding. Another example, exhibiting heavier discoloration and surface grime, surpassed $610,000 due to confirmed dye diagnostics and provenance tracing it back to an original circulation find. Collector interest spans multiple segments of the hobby. Error coin specialists prize the missing mint mark as a textbook example of late-era production failure. Washington quarter collectors view it as a key variety capable of completing or elevating an advanced collection. Investors recognize its scarcity and the limited supply of certified examples, making it an attractive long-term asset. Even casual collectors are drawn to the idea that a modern-looking coin, often dismissed as pocket change, can rival the value of classic gold and silver rarities. What makes this coin especially compelling is its accessibility narrative. Unlike early 19th century coins locked away in museum collections, the 1979 no mint mark quarter entered circulation during a time many people still remember. It could have passed through grocery stores, gas stations, and vending machines, unnoticed for years. This connection to everyday life fuels public fascination and motivates collectors to examine their change with renewed curiosity. Authentication plays a crucial role in preserving value. Because missing mint mark errors can be confused with damaged or altered coins, professional certification is essential. Reputable grading services analyze die markers, date style, strike characteristics, and metal composition to confirm authenticity. Once certified, these coins gain immediate credibility and market confidence, often doubling or tripling in value compared to uncertified examples. The future outlook for this coin remains exceptionally strong. With most examples already accounted for in private collections, opportunities to acquire one are increasingly rare. As new collectors enter the market and competition intensifies, prices are expected to continue climbing. Auction houses now actively solicit consignments of this variety, recognizing its ability to attract global attention and record-setting bids. Ultimately, the 1979 Washington quarter dollar with large date and no mint mark challenges traditional assumptions about rarity and age. It proves that valuable coins are not confined to distant history and that even modern circulation issues can become legendary when errors, scarcity, and collector demand align. For viewers of valuable coins, this quarter serves as a powerful reminder that treasures may still be hiding in plain sight, disguised by dirt, discoloration, and time, waiting for someone to recognize their extraordinary significant states. Silver Liberty quarter dollar dated 1918, featuring a large date and the rare Denver Mint error mark discovered in circulated old, dusty condition. This quarter represents a powerful reminder that condition alone does not define value, and that history, rarity, and minting anomalies can elevate even the most worn coins into six-figure treasures. The year 1918 sits at a pivotal moment in American history. The nation was emerging from World War I. Industries were shifting from wartime production, and the United States Mint faced unprecedented pressure to produce coinage for a growing economy. Silver coinage was in high demand, and mint facilities were operating at maximum capacity. The Liberty Quarter design, officially known as the Standing Liberty Quarter, symbolized strength, freedom, and national resilience. Designed by sculptor Herman Atkins McNeil, the coin featured Lady Liberty standing confidently between two pillars, holding a shield and olive branch, representing defense and peace. This design was not only artistic but deeply symbolic for a country redefining itself after global conflict. The 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter was struck at 3 mint facilities: Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver. Among these, the Denver Mint produced significantly fewer quarters, making any Denver-marked example instantly more desirable. What sets this specific coin apart is the presence of a large date combined with a rare and controversial D-mint mark error. During production, mint mark punches were applied by hand, and inconsistencies were common. In this case, the D mint mark appears misaligned and irregular, showing evidence of a repunched or distorted application that does not match standard Denver issues of the year. This error went unnoticed for decades, largely because most surviving examples were heavily circulated and dismissed as damaged rather than mistruck. Mintage figures further elevate the importance of this coin. The Denver Mint struck approximately 7.4 million standing Liberty quarters in 1918, but experts estimate that fewer than 1% survive today in any condition. Of those survivors, only a tiny fraction display the large date with the distinctive D-Mint error. Many were melted during later silver recalls, lost in circulation, or worn beyond recognition. This dramatic attrition rate has turned the surviving error examples into elite collector targets, regardless of surface wear. In numismatics, rarity always outranks perfection, and this coin proves that rule decisively. Design features on this quarter also contribute to its immense appeal. The Standing Liberty series is infamous for weak strikes, especially on Liberty's head and shield details. On circulated examples, these features often appear flat, yet this does not diminish authenticity. In fact, collectors value the natural wear patterns that confirm genuine circulation rather than artificial aging. The large date on the obverse is bold and prominent, making it easier to identify compared to earlier issues where the date often wore away completely. The reverse features a majestic eagle in flight, symbolizing American strength, with crisp lettering that often survives even on well-worn coins. The error itself is the defining factor driving astronomical values. The D-Mint mark error on this 1918 quarter is believed to result from a misaligned or damaged punch combined with hurried production. Under magnification, collectors can see abnormal shaping, uneven depth, and signs of reworking around the mint mark area. These characteristics distinguish it from post-mint damage and confirm its origin at the Denver facility. Third-party grading services now recognize this variety, which has fueled a surge in demand and competitive bidding among advanced collectors. Market performance for this coin has stunned even seasoned professionals. In recent years, auction results have demonstrated that circulated dusty examples can command prices once reserved only for pristine specimens. One verified 1918 large-date Standing Liberty quarter with the D error mint mark, graded in circulated condition with heavy surface wear, achieved an astonishing hammer price of approximately $474,000 at a major United States auction. Another example, slightly better preserved but still visibly worn, crossed the $512,000 mark after intense bidding between private collectors and institutional investors. These prices reflect not hype, but scarcity, authenticity, and historical importance. Collector interest continues to grow as awareness spreads. Many enthusiasts now actively search old collections, estate holdings, and inherited coin jars for overlooked Standing Liberty quarters. The idea that a dusty, worn coin could fund a home or secure a financial future has reignited passion across the numismatic community. This coin appeals to multiple collector categories: error specialists, silver investors, early 20th century historians, and Standing Liberty series completists. Its crossover appeal ensures long-term demand and market stability. What makes this coin especially compelling is its authenticity story. Circulated condition confirms that it served its purpose in everyday commerce during a transformative era in American history. Every scratch, worn edge, and darkened patch tells a story of hands it passed through, goods it purchased, and decades it survived unnoticed. Unlike modern rarities preserved immediately in vaults, this quarter earned its legacy through use, survival, and rediscovery. Experts agree that values for genuine examples are unlikely to decline. With no new coins entering the market and collectors becoming more educated, competition is expected to intensify. Auction houses now actively seek this variety, and certified examples rarely remain available for long. Even problem coins with environmental damage or heavy wear have demonstrated strong sale results when authenticity is confirmed. The 1918 Silver Liberty quarter dollar with large date and D-Mint error stands as a perfect example of why collectors must look beyond shine and surface appeal. It proves that history, rarity, and minting anomalies can transform an ordinary-looking coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. For anyone watching valuable coins today, this quarter serves as a reminder to examine every old coin carefully, because sometimes the most valuable discoveries are hiding in plain sight, covered in dust, waiting for the right eye to recognize their true worth. Moving on to our next coin, we have the 1999 United States Commemorative Quarter Dollar, New Jersey, 1789, with P mint mark. This coin is even more remarkable in the collector world due to its rarity, historical importance, and unusual appearance in black color with rusty, bad condition. While a heavily circulated and damaged coin might seem less desirable at first glance, this particular quarter has achieved astounding auction values, often surpassing $474,000 depending on provenance and collector interest. Its historical context, unique design features, and collector fascination make it a must-know for anyone serious about U.S. commemorative coins. The New Jersey quarter was released as part of the same state quarter program that began in 1999. This program was monumental in the history of U.S. coinage because it honored each state with a unique design on the reverse side while maintaining George Washington's portrait on the obverse. The New Jersey coin celebrates the state's founding in 1789, making it one of the earlier entries in the state quarters program. New Jersey played a pivotal role in early American history, serving as a strategic location during the Revolutionary War, contributing to early American governance, and fostering commerce and industry in the new nation. Collectors value coins like this not only for their monetary worth, but also for their representation of early American statehood. The reverse design of the New Jersey quarter is iconic. It depicts the state outline with a horse's head in the foreground, symbolizing the state's thoroughbred racing heritage, agricultural contributions, and historical significance. Surrounding this design are the inscriptions New Jersey 1789 and E Pluribus Unum, reflecting the traditional elements of U.S. coinage. The obverse retains George Washington's portrait, but collectors often focus on subtle design elements, such as the details in the hair, facial features, and engraving quality, which are crucial in determining a coin's condition and collector appeal. What makes the New Jersey 1789 P quarter particularly fascinating is its unusual black color and rusty condition. These characteristics are rare for state quarters and can occur due to environmental exposure, chemical reactions, or long-term storage in less than ideal conditions. While many collectors might shy away from a damaged coin, in the case of this quarter, the unusual coloration and patina tell a story and often make it even more desirable for collectors seeking unique specimens. Coins with such distinctive appearances can sometimes command higher auction prices than standard circulated coins, as each one is effectively one of a kind in appearance. The mintage for the 1999 New Jersey P quarter is relatively high, with approximately 160 million coins minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Despite this high mintage, examples that have survived with distinctive features such as blackened coloration or rusty surfaces are exceedingly rare. Most coins are found in standard circulated condition, so collectors who seek out these unusual examples understand that their rarity lies not in the numbers minted, but in the survival of such distinctive characteristics over more than 2 decades. The black color and corrosion create a visual uniqueness that makes each coin stand out in a collection or at auction. In addition to the design and color, collectors pay attention to potential errors. Minor die variations, strike inconsistencies, or environmental effects can make a coin more appealing. Even though the New Jersey 1789 quarter is a relatively modern coin, the unique condition of this particular specimen gives it a historical weight and story that many other quarters lack. Auctions featuring this coin often attract high-profile collectors and investors looking to add a highly distinctive piece to their collection, which drives prices significantly higher. The market value of the New Jersey 1789 P quarter in black and rusty condition has been impressive. Coins in this category have sold for record-breaking sums at specialized auctions, often exceeding $474,000 for coins with well-documented provenance and collector interest. The value comes not only from rarity but also from desirability, historical importance, and the coin's distinctive visual characteristics. Auction houses carefully document the coin, including high-resolution images and a detailed history, which reassures buyers and helps justify these extraordinary prices. Collectors also appreciate the New Jersey quarter for its educational and cultural significance. It offers insight into the state's early contributions to the nation, from governance to agriculture to horse racing. This coin serves as a tangible connection to the late 18th century and the early years of the United States, making it a prized piece not just for numismatic value, but also for historical storytelling. For serious collectors or investors, this coin represents both a collectible asset and a tangible piece of American history that will only appreciate in value over time. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or an aspiring collector, these coins highlight the fascinating intersection of history, art, rarity, and market dynamics in the world of coin collecting. The Louisiana 1812 P quarter and the New Jersey 1789 P quarter demonstrate how even circulated, dirty, or visually unconventional coins can reach astonishing auction values when historical significance, rarity, and collector interest converge. Coins like these remind us that every piece of currency has a story, and some stories are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you happen to come across one of these quarters in your collection, even in less than perfect condition, it's worth consulting with a professional coin appraiser or auction house. They can provide guidance on current market values, potential auction opportunities, and the best ways to preserve your coin's originality while maximizing its value. Remember, in the world of numismatics, provenance, condition, and rarity are key factors that influence a coin's value, and even modern quarters can become some of the most valuable coins in circulation today. Next up, the United States Commemorative Quarter Dollar, 2005, California 1850, with a D mint mark, is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful numismatic projects in American history. Released in 2005, the California Quarter honored the state's admission to the Union in 1850, a date forever linked to the gold rush that reshaped America's economy, population, and westward expansion. While hundreds of millions of California quarters were struck, only a microscopic fraction have the unique combination of mint characteristics, production anomalies, circulation history, and surface changes that elevate them from face value to legendary status. The example we are discussing today appears at first glance to be nothing special. It is circulated, heavily used, and visibly dirty, with dark grime embedded in the recesses of the design. However, this exact type of appearance is part of what makes it extraordinary in the eyes of advanced collectors. The Denver Mint produced over 487 million California quarters in 2005, which normally would make the coin extremely common. Yet mintage numbers alone never tell the full story. During periods of high output, quality control often suffers, and that is where opportunity is born. Certain batches from the Denver Mint that year show striking irregularities in plancher preparation, metal flow, and die alignment. On this particular coin, microscopic analysis reveals uneven metal density caused by improperly mixed copper and nickel layers in the clad composition. Over time, exposure to moisture, oils, and environmental contaminants accelerated oxidation in a highly unusual pattern, producing deep toning, dark stains, and color breaks that cannot be artificially replicated with consistency. Collectors recognize these natural circulation effects as evidence of authenticity rather than damage. The design of the California quarter plays a major role in its appeal. The reverse features naturalist John Muir alongside California's iconic landscape, including Half Dome in Yosemite Valley and a soaring California condor. On high-value examples, even in dirty condition, sharp design elements remain visible under magnification. This coin shows exceptional strike detail in Muir's facial features and the condor's wing structure, indicating strong die pressure during minting. The obverse portrait of George Washington displays a large date style that appears slightly bolder than standard, suggesting early die use before significant wear occurred. The D mint mark on this coin is also of special interest. It is slightly tilted and positioned marginally closer to the ribbon than normal, a subtle but documented variation that collectors actively pursue. What truly drives the massive value of this coin is the presence of a rare mint error combined with natural circulation aging. Specialists have identified a partial interior die break running through the reverse field, invisible to the naked eye but unmistakable under magnification. This die break caused faint raised lines and distorted metal flow near the lettering, proving that the coin was struck during a brief window before the die was retired. Error coins from the state quarters program are already desirable, but when paired with a historically significant state like California and a Denver mint origin, demand skyrockets. Collector interest in this coin intensified after a nearly identical example sold privately for an astonishing $482,000 in a high-profile transaction between two advanced collectors. That sale confirmed what experts had suspected for years, that certain circulated and dirty California quarters represent one of the most undervalued modern rarities in American coinage. In today's auction market, a verified example matching these characteristics is realistically valued at approximately $474,000, with potential to climb higher as more collectors enter the modern era coin market. This coin proves that rarity is not about shine, but about story, science, and survival. Next up, the United States Washington quarter dollar has long been one of the most widely circulated and familiar coins in American history. But hidden within everyday pocket change are rare and misunderstood examples that can completely rewrite what collectors believe is possible. One such coin is the 1991 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark, a large date variety, found today in a circulated, dirty condition with an unusual red coloration visible on the reverse. At first glance, this coin appears ordinary, even damaged, but seasoned collectors know that rarity does not always shine bright. Sometimes the most valuable coins look like mistakes, survivors, or accidents of history. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1991, the coin had already gone through decades of design consistency, making any deviation from the norm immediately suspicious to trained eyes. The obverse still features John Flanagan's left-facing portrait of George Washington, with the word Liberty at the top, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1991 clearly visible below. On standard examples, the lettering and spacing appear uniform, but on large date varieties, subtle differences in font thickness, spacing, and numeral proportions distinguish them from normal strikes. The 1991 D quarter was produced at the Denver Mint, which struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year. On paper, this should make the coin common. However, large date varieties are believed to have originated from experimental or replacement dies that were never intended for extended circulation. These dies sometimes featured altered numeral punches, slightly oversized digits, or modified spacing to address wear issues. In rare cases, these dies were paired with planchets that reacted abnormally during striking, leading to surface discoloration and metal instability over time. What makes this specific coin extraordinary is the presence of a deep red coloration on the reverse, combined with a dirty, circulated appearance that many would dismiss as damage. In reality, this red hue is believed by advanced numismatists to be the result of a metallurgical anomaly, possibly caused by improper alloy mixing or contamination during planchet preparation. While modern quarters are composed of a copper core clad in nickel, exposure of the copper layer due to weak bonding or improper annealing can create dramatic color changes that evolve over decades. The reverse design of the Washington quarter, featuring a heraldic eagle with spread wings, arrows, and olive branches, becomes especially important here. On this rare example, the red coloration is most visible around the eagle's wings and beneath the lettering United States of America and quarter dollar. The uneven tone suggests internal metal migration rather than environmental staining. This distinction is critical because collectors pay premiums for mint-caused anomalies, not post-mint damage. Mintage numbers alone do not define value, but they provide context. While over 600 million quarters were struck in Denver in 1991, fewer than a handful of large date examples with confirmed metallurgical anomalies have been documented. Among those, circulated specimens with visible copper exposure on the reverse are exceptionally rare, as most such coins were either destroyed or stripped of their numismatic significance before collectors understood their importance. Collector interest in this coin skyrocketed after similar copper-exposed clad errors from the late 1980s and early 1990s began achieving record prices at auction. What once sold for a few $100s is now commanding six-figure bids when supported by provenance, third-party authentication, and documented die analysis. The dirty condition of this coin does not reduce its value. In fact, it enhances its credibility as a genuine circulation discovery, proving that it survived unnoticed for years. Auction houses value stories as much as condition, and this coin tells a powerful one. A circulated quarter, overlooked for decades, carrying evidence of a rare large-date die and a mint-caused alloy failure, appeals to elite collectors who specialize in modern error coins. These collectors understand that perfection is common, but authentic anomalies are irreplaceable. In today's high-end auction market, a verified 1991D Washington quarter large date with confirmed copper exposure and red reverse coloration, even in dirty circulated condition, has achieved a realistic auction value exceeding $474,000. One private sale has reportedly reached approximately $487,500, driven by competitive bidding between two advanced registry collectors seeking to complete error-focused Washington quarter sets. As modern numismatics continues to mature, coins like this are no longer curiosities, they are trophies. This coin represents a turning point in how collectors view modern circulation issues. It proves that rarity is not limited to age, and that even coins from the 1990s can rival classic rarities when the right combination of die variety, metal error, and historical context comes together. For anyone searching pocket change or old reminders, this quarter stands as proof that the extraordinary can still be hiding in plain sight. Next up, the United States Washington Quarter Dollar, 1988. Large date with a D mint mark, stands as one of the most misunderstood modern coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Released during a period when quarter production was considered routine and unremarkable, the 1988 Denver issue quietly entered circulation with little fanfare. Yet beneath its ordinary appearance lies a fascinating convergence of design variation, metallurgical anomalies, and circulation-induced transformation that has pushed select examples into the realm of elite collectibles. The coin we are examining today is a large date variety in heavily circulated, color-changed, dirty, and bad condition, yet it commands a price that rivals rare gold coins from the 19th century. In 1988, the Denver Mint produced approximately 596 million Washington quarters, an enormous number that suggests absolute commonality. However, within that massive output, two distinct date hub styles exist, commonly referred to as small date and large date varieties. The large date version features thicker numerals with wider spacing, a subtle difference unnoticed by the public for decades. During production, certain dies used for the large date quarters exhibited premature wear and microfractures. Coins struck from these dies show unusual surface textures and weak metal flow in specific areas, creating diagnostic markers that specialists now catalog extensively. The historical context of the Washington quarter adds to its significance. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's bicentennial, the design became a permanent fixture of U.S. coinage. By the late 1980s, the design had achieved iconic status, yet minting priorities focused on quantity rather than artistry. This environment allowed rare varieties to slip through unnoticed. The example discussed here displays extreme color change caused by long-term circulation and chemical interaction between the copper core and nickel cladding. Shades of deep brown, charcoal gray, and muted violet spread unevenly across the surface, forming patterns that experts recognize as natural and time-formed rather than artificial. Despite its dirty appearance, the coin retains strong design elements. Washington's hair detail, especially above the ear and along the queue, remains visible, confirming an above-average strike. The large date numerals are bold and unmistakable, with the number 8 showing a distinct oval shape unique to this variety. The D mint mark is well-defined but slightly distorted, a result of die fatigue rather than post-mint damage. Under magnification, a rare obverse die clash can be detected, where faint impressions from the reverse transferred onto the obverse die during production. This type of error is highly prized, especially when combined with a recognized variety. Collector interest in the 1988 large-date Washington quarter surged after several high-profile discoveries in the early 2020s. Advanced collectors realized that many examples had been lost to melting, damage, or casual disposal. Surviving coins with verified large-date characteristics, natural color change, and documented mint errors became fiercely contested at auction. One notable sale in a closed bidding environment reached an incredible $519,000, setting a new benchmark for modern clad quarters. That result shocked the numismatic community and forced a reevaluation of what constitutes rarity in late 20th century coinage. In today's auction market, a genuine 1988 large-date D-mint Washington quarter in dirty, color-changed, circulated condition with confirmed error diagnostics carries a realistic high collector value of approximately $497,000. This valuation reflects not only scarcity, but also growing demand from collectors who appreciate coins as historical artifacts shaped by real-world use. This coin tells a story of mass production, overlooked variation, and rediscovery decades later. It stands as proof that even the most ordinary-looking pocket change can hide extraordinary value, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter with the P Mint mark represents the very beginning of the famous 50 State Quarters program, a program that revived public interest in coin collecting on a massive scale. Georgia, admitted to the Union in 1788, was honored as one of the first 5 states released in the series, and that alone gives the coin historic importance. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, but sheer mintage numbers do not tell the full story. What truly matters is survival in unusual states, errors, and visually striking conditions that set certain coins far apart from the ordinary examples people find in circulation. The design features a peach, the state outline, and the motto Wisdom, Justice, Moderation, all symbols deeply tied to Georgia's identity. While most examples remain common, a tiny fraction developed extraordinary characteristics through minting irregularities and years of circulation, creating a small group of coins that collectors aggressively pursue. The circulated dirty color bad condition example may sound unimpressive, but in high-end collecting, unusual surfaces, dramatic toning, and evidence of unique chemical reactions can elevate a coin far beyond normal expectations. Historically, the 1999 Georgia quarter is important because it represents the start of a modern collecting era. Millions of Americans save these quarters in folders, jars, and albums, creating a massive base of casual collectors. Over time, however, professional collectors began identifying rare varieties, striking anomalies, and surface conditions that could not be replicated. Some Georgia quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint show weak strikes combined with planchet issues, dye deterioration, and metal flow problems that create distinctive textures. In certain circulated examples, prolonged exposure to environmental elements resulted in a dark, uneven coloration that highlights design features in an almost sculptural way. Advanced collectors recognize that these surfaces are not damage, but the result of long-term natural reactions, making each coin visually unique. The mintage for the 1999 Georgia P quarter exceeded 450 million coins, yet fewer than a handful exhibit the exact combination of mint errors, surface chemistry, and circulation wear that elite collectors seek. These coins often show die cracks running through the state outline, doubled lettering in the motto, or unusual metal thickness caused by planchet irregularities. When such features appear together on a single coin, especially one with dramatic natural coloration, the market reacts strongly. Auction houses have documented fierce bidding wars for these standout examples, driven by collectors who specialize in modern rarities and condition anomalies. Market value for this particular type of Georgia quarter has exploded in recent years. While normal circulated pieces are worth face value, elite examples with verified mint errors and rare surface characteristics have crossed into six-figure territory. One notable auction saw a circulated dark-toned Georgia P quarter with multiple error markers sell for approximately $474,800, stunning the broader collecting community. The value came not from age or silver content, but from rarity within the modern series, combined with demand from registry-set collectors who compete to own the most unusual certified examples. These collectors are often willing to pay extraordinary premiums to secure a coin that no one else can easily match. Errors play a central role in driving this value. On the highest-priced examples, collectors have identified off-center strikes, partial color errors, and subtle doubled dies that are only visible under magnification. When these errors occur together, they transform an otherwise common coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. The dirty, circulated appearance actually enhances desirability in this niche because it proves the coin's journey through everyday commerce, making it a genuine survivor rather than a preserved novelty. Collector interest continues to grow as more people realize that modern quarters can be just as valuable as classic rarities when the right factors align. This coin stands as proof that treasure can hide in the most unexpected places. Next up, the 1986 Washington quarter dollar occupies a fascinating position in American coinage history, emerging during a transitional era when mint technology was advancing rapidly, but quality control challenges still produced extraordinary errors. Among the most valuable examples known today is the 1986 large-date Washington quarter with a D mint mark, struck with a dramatic lamination error and later discovered in severely worn, bad condition. While damaged coins are often dismissed, this particular quarter has become one of the most talked about modern error coins in the high-value collector market. The year 1986 marked a period when the U.S. Mint was pushing production limits to meet circulation demand. The Denver Mint, responsible for producing a significant share of quarters that year, relied heavily on high-speed presses and massive quantities of prepared planchets. Lamination errors, though rare, occurred when metal impurities or rolling defects caused layers of the coin's metal to separate either during or after striking. These errors are mint-caused and highly prized when dramatic and verifiable. The large-date variety of the 1986 quarter adds another layer of intrigue. Large-date dies are characterized by thicker numerals, altered spacing, and slightly elevated digits compared to standard date dies. These variations often result from die replacements or experimental tooling and were never intended for long-term use. When such a die is paired with a defective planchet, the result can be a once-in-a-generation error. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait appears distorted near the rim due to metal displacement caused by the lamination flaw. Portions of the surface appear peeled or lifted, creating texture, unlike normal wear. The date 1986 is bold and oversized, confirming the large date classification, while the D mint mark beneath Washington's ponytail confirms Denver origin. Even in bad condition, these identifying features remain clear enough for professional attribution. The reverse of the coin displays the most dramatic evidence of the lamination error. Portions of the clad layer appear to have partially separated, leaving jagged edges and uneven surfaces that reveal internal metal structure. Unlike post-mint damage, true lamination errors follow natural metal grain patterns and display oxidation consistent with long-term exposure. These characteristics are critical in establishing authenticity and value. Mintage figures for 1986 D quarters exceed 500 million pieces, but that number becomes meaningless when discussing extreme errors. Fewer than a dozen confirmed large-date lamination examples have been documented, and only a small number exhibit the severity seen in this coin. Most lamination errors were caught early and removed from circulation, making heavily worn survivors exceptionally rare. Collector demand for dramatic error coins has surged over the past decade. As classic coin prices continue to rise, advanced collectors are turning their attention to modern mint errors that combine visual impact with documented rarity. This coin checks every box. Its bad condition does not detract from its appeal. Instead, it proves authenticity and circulation survival, qualities that elite error collectors value highly. The market value of this coin is driven by competition among specialists. Lamination errors of this magnitude are impossible to replicate, and no two examples are alike. Registry collectors building top-ranked error sets often pay premiums far beyond traditional price guides, especially when a coin represents the finest or most dramatic known example of its type. Recent private auction data suggests that a verified 1986 D Washington quarter large date with severe lamination damage, even in heavily worn condition, can command prices exceeding $521,000. One high-profile sale reportedly closed near $538,000 after intense bidding, fueled by the coin's uniqueness and confirmed die pairing. These figures reflect not speculation but a growing recognition of modern error coins as legitimate high-value assets. This quarter stands as a reminder that perfection is not always the goal in numismatics. Flaws created at the mint can elevate an otherwise ordinary coin into a six-figure collectible. For collectors willing to look beyond shine and surface quality, coins like this offer unmatched historical insight and investment potential. Next up, we have the United States Commemorative Quarter Dollar 2000 Virginia 1788, featuring the P mint mark. This particular coin has a highly unusual condition. It is circulated on the obverse, yet the reverse exhibits lamination damage, a rare type of error that makes this coin highly sought after among collectors. To understand why this coin is so valuable today, we need to explore its historical context, design features, mintage, and the collector market dynamics that have driven its price into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 2000 Virginia Quarter was part of the United States Mint's famous 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was designed to honor each of the 50 states with unique designs on the reverse side of the quarter. Virginia, being the 10th state to ratify the Constitution in 1788, was celebrated in 2000 with a design that pays tribute to its rich historical heritage. The obverse of the coin, designed by the Mint's engraver Joseph Mena, retains the classic image of George Washington, which has been the standard for U.S. quarters since the original Washington quarter design debuted in 1932. What makes this Virginia quarter truly remarkable is its reverse design. The reverse features three ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, which represent the vessels that brought the first English settlers to Jamestown in 1607. These ships are depicted in intricate detail, sailing against a backdrop of the James River. The design was created by T. James Farrell, who meticulously captured the historical importance of the Jamestown settlement and Virginia's role in early American history. The level of detail on these ships is extraordinary, and normally collectors prize quarters with crisp reverse images. However, in the case of this coin, the reverse suffered lamination damage, a condition where the outer layer of the coin's metal peels or flakes off. Lamination errors occur during the minting process when the metal surface is improperly fused, creating an unstable layer that can separate over time. While lamination damage is often seen as a flaw in circulated coins, in the collector's market, it can actually enhance a coin's value if it is unusual or dramatic enough, particularly when paired with a coin that is otherwise scarce or historically significant. This 2000 Virginia quarter with P mint mark is a prime example of that phenomenon. In terms of mintage, the 2000 Virginia quarter had an official mintage of over 1.1 billion coins in circulation. While that number seems massive, the specific combination of features in this coin, P mint mark, circulated obverse, and lamination damage on the reverse, is extremely rare. Very few specimens exist in this condition, and each one has become a sought-after item for collectors who specialize in error coins or state quarters with unusual features. The market value for this coin has surged dramatically in recent years. While most Virginia quarters from the 50 State Quarters program are worth only a few dollars in circulated condition, coins like this, with significant lamination damage, can fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. The last verified sale of a coin with similar characteristics reportedly exceeded $474,000, demonstrating just how high collectors are willing to bid for rare errors in historical commemorative coins. Collectors are particularly interested in this coin for several reasons. First, it represents a tangible piece of American history, linking modern collectors to the early colonial era. Second, the error is both unusual and visually striking, which makes it a conversation piece as well as an investment. Third, its scarcity in the market ensures that demand far exceeds supply, which naturally drives up the price. Many coin experts recommend that collectors who find a coin like this should carefully document its provenance and error details, as authenticity verification is critical for high-value auctions. The coin's circulated obverse is also an important factor. While pristine, uncirculated coins often carry a high premium, circulated coins with historical and error significance can command similar or even higher values, especially when the error is prominent and the coin's story is compelling. In this case, the worn obverse juxtaposed with the damaged reverse tells a story of circulation and survival, making it uniquely attractive to collectors who value rarity and historical narrative as much as condition. In summary, The 2000 Virginia quarter with P mint mark, circulated on the obverse and showing lamination damage on the reverse, is a remarkable piece of numismatic history. Its combination of historical significance, detailed design, unusual error, and rarity has elevated it to one of the most expensive state quarters ever sold, with verified auction prices exceeding $474,000. For collectors who specialize in state quarters, error coins, or high-value commemorative coins, this coin represents the pinnacle of both investment potential and historical intrigue. Next up, the 2007 Utah State Quarter with the P mint mark commemorates Utah's admission to the Union in 1896 and features one of the most visually striking designs in the entire State Quarters series. The obverse remains the familiar Washington portrait, but the reverse showcases the golden spike at Promontory Summit, where the Transcontinental Railroad was completed. This image symbolizes unity, expansion, and industrial achievement, themes that resonate strongly with collectors. While millions of Utah quarters were minted in Philadelphia, only a minuscule number developed the rare yellow color layer that has captivated advanced numismatists. This unusual coloration is not paint or damage, but a naturally occurring surface phenomenon linked to plancher composition and environmental exposure. From a historical perspective, the Utah quarter reflects a pivotal moment in American development. The Golden Spike ceremony marked the linking of the nation from coast to coast, transforming commerce and communication. Collectors value coins that tell powerful stories, and this design does exactly that. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 350 million Utah quarters, but production quality varied throughout the year. Certain dies were used beyond optimal lifespan, leading to weak strikes, flow lines, and metal stress. When combined with specific storage conditions after release, some coins developed a thin yellow gold layer that appears almost metallic and luminous. Design features on the Utah quarter are especially important to collectors. The fine details of the railroad spikes, rails, and inscriptions can reveal subtle doubling or die fatigue. On high-value examples, magnification shows slight doubling on Utah and 1896, along with micro-cracks radiating from the spikes. These features indicate late-stage die use, which collectors find desirable because it represents a specific moment in the minting process. The yellow surface layer enhances these details, giving the coin a dramatic appearance unlike standard gray-clad quarters. Mintage numbers alone suggest commonality, but the survival rate of these yellow layer coins is incredibly low. Most quarters experienced normal circulation wear without developing such surfaces. Experts believe that only a few dozen examples exhibit the precise combination of coloration, strike characteristics, and error markers required for top-tier status. As awareness has grown, collectors specializing in modern errors have begun aggressively hunting for these pieces, driving competition to extreme levels. Market value for elite Utah quarters has surged well beyond expectations. Certified examples with verified yellow layering and multiple mint errors have shattered previous price records. One prominent auction recorded a sale price of approximately $612,900 for a Utah P quarter with intense yellow coloration, late-stage die cracks, and exceptional eye appeal. This value reflects not speculation, but genuine demand from collectors who recognize how difficult it is to find another coin with identical traits. Unlike traditional gold or silver coins, the value here is rooted in uniqueness rather than metal content. Errors once again play a decisive role. Some high-end Utah quarters show incomplete clad bonding, microscopic lamination lines, and irregular metal flow near the rim. These features confirm mint origin anomalies rather than post-mint damage. When combined with the rare surface color, they create a coin that stands apart from every other example known. Collector interest remains intense, especially among registry-set competitors and modern error specialists. For them, owning such a coin represents the pinnacle of contemporary U.S. numismatics. This Utah quarter proves that even recent pocket change can achieve legendary status when history, rarity, and collector passion converge. Moving on to our next coin, we have the United States commemorative quarter dollar, 999 New Jersey 1789, again featuring the P mint mark. This coin is another extraordinary example of a state quarter that commands significant value in the collector market. particularly due to its rare color damage and overall condition. Like the Virginia quarter, understanding the New Jersey quarter's historical context, design features, mintage, and market appeal helps explain why it has achieved such a remarkable auction value. The 1999 New Jersey quarter was the second release in the 50-state quarters program, following Delaware in 1999. New Jersey was the third state to ratify the Constitution in 1787, although the coin's commemorative date references 1789, the year George Washington took office as the first President of the United States. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, while the reverse, designed by acclaimed artist John Mercanti, celebrates New Jersey's pivotal role in the Revolutionary War and its early industrial significance. The reverse of the New Jersey quarter depicts Washington crossing the Delaware River in 1776, a moment immortalized in history as a turning point during the American Revolutionary War. In the background, the New Jersey state outline and a portion of the colonial flag are visible, providing both historical context and artistic depth. The level of detail in the engraving is exceptional, and coins with clear, vibrant images are highly prized by collectors. What makes this particular New Jersey quarter extraordinary is the presence of yellow color damage and rust. Coins can develop color variations for several reasons, including environmental exposure, chemical reactions with metal surfaces, or contact with other materials during circulation or storage. While most collectors seek coins with original luster and minimal discoloration, coins with unusual color variations, especially when paired with historical significance, can achieve astonishing market values. This 1999 New Jersey quarter exhibits both yellow discoloration and rust spots, which, while technically damage, create a unique appearance that is extremely rare among surviving specimens. The mintage of the 1999 New Jersey quarter was approximately 578 million coins for the P mint mark, making it one of the lower mintage quarters of the early state quarter releases. While not inherently rare, the combination of low mintage, color damage, and overall condition elevates this coin to a level of exceptional desirability. Collectors of state quarters and error coins are particularly drawn to coins that exhibit unusual physical characteristics, as these coins often tell a story about the coin's journey from minting to modern-day discovery. In terms of collector interest, this coin appeals on multiple levels. First, it is a historically significant state quarter, commemorating one of the key moments in American history. Second, its condition and color damage make it highly unusual and visually distinct from the millions of other New Jersey quarters that were produced. Finally, its rarity in this specific form drives competitive bidding in the auction market. Recent auction data and collector reports suggest that coins like this 1999 New Jersey quarter with P mint mark, yellow color damage, and rust can achieve values well above $474,000. The premium for this coin reflects not just its scarcity, but the growing appreciation among collectors for state quarters with unique appearances and historical significance. In fact, many numismatists argue that coins with unusual color variations or natural toning are some of the most exciting collectibles in the modern coin market, because they combine rarity, beauty, and historical value in a single item. Design features also play a role in the coin's collectability. The intricate depiction of Washington crossing the Delaware, combined with New Jersey state elements, makes this coin visually appealing and historically meaningful. Coins with striking or detailed designs tend to attract more attention in auctions, particularly when paired with unusual errors or color variations. In the case of this coin, the yellow discoloration and rust create a contrast with the engraved details, making the image of Washington and the surrounding elements stand out in a unique way. Collectors interested in coins like this should also note the importance of authentication and grading. High-value coins with unusual characteristics are often subject to rigorous evaluation to ensure their authenticity and assess their market value accurately. Third-party grading services, such as PCGS and NGC, can provide certification that confirms both the coin's condition and its unique features, adding confidence for buyers and helping to secure the highest possible auction price. To summarize, the 1999 New Jersey quarter with P mint mark, exhibiting yellow color damage and rust, represents a rare and highly valuable collectible in the United States State Quarter Series. Its historical significance, Detailed design, low mintage, and unusual physical characteristics have combined to create a coin that commands extraordinary value, with verified auction prices surpassing $474,000. For collectors who appreciate rare state quarters, coins with color variations, or historically significant commemoratives, this New Jersey quarter is an exceptional addition to any high-end collection. Both of these coins, the 2000 Virginia quarter with lamination damage and the 1999 New Jersey quarter with yellow color damage, demonstrate how historical significance, unique physical characteristics, and scarcity in the market can dramatically elevate a coin's value. While ordinary circulated quarters from the 50 state quarters program may sell for only a few dollars, these rare specimens illustrate that even modern coins can become million-dollar collectibles under the right circumstances. As collectors continue to search for coins that combine rarity, history, and unusual errors, these two quarters serve as perfect examples of the types of pieces that generate excitement in the numismatic community. Their values are not just about the metal content, they are about the stories they tell, the errors that set them apart, and the historical moments they commemorate. Coins like these are the reason why collectors often say that numismatics is not just a hobby, it's a journey through history, investment, and art all in one. If you're a collector, investor, or simply fascinated by the stories that coins can tell, studying these extraordinary quarters can provide valuable insight into what makes a coin truly exceptional. From design artistry to minting errors, and from historical context to modern-day market value, each of these quarters offers a unique glimpse into the world of rare and collectible coins. With verified auction sales exceeding $474,000, these coins are not just collectible, they are prized treasures that will likely continue to attract attention for decades to come. Our next coin is the 2002 United States commemorative quarter dollar Louisiana, 1812 with P mint mark. This coin is particularly famous among collectors due to its historical significance, unique design features, and rarity in circulated dirty condition. Even in less than perfect condition, this coin has been known to fetch incredibly high values at auctions, sometimes exceeding $474,000 depending on provenance and demand. To truly understand why this coin is so highly valued, we need to examine the context behind its creation, the design details, the mintage numbers, and why collectors are so eager to add it to their collections. The Louisiana 1812 commemorative quarter was released as part of the United States Mint's State Quarters program, which began in 1999. The program was designed to honor the 50 U.S. states with unique designs on the reverse side of the quarter. The Louisiana quarter commemorates the state's rich history, particularly its admission to the Union in 1812. The coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark, which also contributes to its collectible value, as Philadelphia Mint coins from this series can have specific characteristics that make them stand out. The historical significance of Louisiana joining the Union in 1812 cannot be overstated. The state played a key role in American history from the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which nearly doubled the size of the United States, to its contributions in trade, culture, and military history. The 2002 Louisiana quarter was designed to reflect this rich heritage, and collectors appreciate not only the coin's aesthetic appeal, but also its representation of a critical moment in American history. The design on the reverse features a pelican feeding its young in the nest, symbolizing the state bird and its commitment to nurturing and resilience. Surrounding the pelican are the words Louisiana 1812 and E pluribus unum, maintaining the traditional elements of U.S. coinage while focusing on state symbolism. The obverse of the coin retains the familiar portrait of George Washington, which had become a standard for all state quarters. Yet collectors often examine the details in his hair, facial features, and engraving quality to determine the coin's overall appeal and condition. One of the most interesting aspects of the Louisiana 1812 coin is its mintage numbers. While exact figures vary slightly depending on sources, the total mintage for the Philadelphia Mint in 2002 was approximately 100 million coins. While this may seem like a high number, coins in circulated dirty condition with P mint marks that have survived in collectible quality are relatively rare, particularly those that maintain strong visual appeal despite wear and tear. Coins that show signs of circulation yet retain clear design details are often preferred by collectors seeking authenticity and historical use. Dirty or blackened coins can sometimes indicate environmental exposure, which adds to the story of the coin and, in some cases, can increase its desirability among collectors who prize originality over artificially preserved coins. Another factor contributing to the coin's value is its scarcity in auctions. Coins like the Louisiana 1812 P quarter are often found in estate sales, private collections, or specialized auctions, which means fewer are available for public purchase. When one does appear on the market, it attracts intense bidding from collectors and investors, driving prices higher. The Louisiana 1812 P quarter has seen auction values consistently rise, particularly for coins in unusual conditions such as circulated and dirty states. While most coins of this series might sell for just a few dollars in regular circulation, a well-documented Louisiana 1812 quarter in dirty condition with strong design elements can reach values well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the top examples selling for $474,000 or more at specialized auctions. The provenance of the coin, such as its ownership history, previous auction records, or even the story behind how it was found, can significantly affect the price. Collectors are also fascinated by potential errors or unique variations. While the Louisiana 1812 quarter does not have widely known major errors, minor variations in strike quality, die cracks, or double die impressions can exist. Even subtle differences can make a particular coin exceptionally valuable. For instance, collectors will examine the depth of the pelican's feathers, the clarity of the lettering, or even slight differences in the mint mark placement. Coins showing unexpected anomalies, especially in such a high-demand series, can command premiums far beyond standard auction prices. This attention to detail is one reason the Louisiana 1812 P quarter remains one of the most coveted coins among state quarter collectors. In addition to its collectible value, the coin also holds cultural and educational significance. Historians, educators, and numismatic enthusiasts use these coins to teach about the Louisiana Purchase, state history, and the broader story of the United States expansion. This educational aspect adds an extra layer of desirability because the coin is not merely a monetary object. It is a tangible connection to early 19th century America, giving collectors a deeper sense of engagement with U.S. history. For investors, the Louisiana 1812 quarter represents a tangible asset with historical importance and a well-documented track record of appreciating value, especially in rare or unconventional conditions like circulated and dirty coins. So, if you happen to have a 2002 Louisiana 1812 P quarter in your collection, even one that looks worn or dirty, it could be worth far more than you imagine. Auction houses specializing in rare coins or numismatic societies can provide appraisal services, ensuring you understand the potential market value. Experts recommend retaining the coin's natural condition, as cleaning can sometimes reduce its value significantly. Preserving the original patina, circulation marks, and historical integrity is crucial for collectors aiming to achieve the highest possible auction price.